Hello, this is a game played on Foxy and it's not as wild as usual, but still lots of interesting tactics to go over. White has won by 9.5, so quite comfortable. There were a few stones in the middle that black captured towards the end and it shouldn't happen, so white could have won slightly bigger than this. And there were other tactics to go over, so let's have a look from the beginning. We have a diagonal Fuseki. Black decided to attack the Hoshi, but he should actually go for the top left approach and then either invade the corner or attack from one side or the other. But that's just a matter of style, more or less. So this is fine. Black slides. White decided to Tenuki, but here actually most of the time it's okay to block the corner because usually when white blocks the Sansan, black will extend for a base. So this Joseki, it's going to be center for white. Therefore, white has time to play the Shimari in the top left corner. Now, if white wants to play right away and black takes the corner at r3, this is also fine because white can extend on the side for a base. So white can accept giving away the corner, but it happens, let's say, in like, I don't know, 10% of the time. Most of the cases, white just blocks the Sansan. So black took r13. He emphasizes on the top right corner, but actually for black it's okay to play r3 and then middle side extension on the left side to take away white's ideal extension. So black played here, white attacks the left side, that's very good. Here this kick is questionable because it helps white more than black. So now white's shape is pretty ideal on the left side. Having the middle side extension, which is really good direction from the Shimari, and also the right spot from the two stones. This is just a great development for white on the left side. So black immediately invades. That's typical for Foxy to be aggressive and jump in. But actually in this position, black would extend to the top. K17 looks really good with Hoshi and Ogema on the right side. And also this K17 would be the second extension from the top left Shimari for white. So that's an urgent point for both white and black. Therefore black should take it. But he was a little bit impatient and invaded the left side. Now here white can attack more severe by playing a kick. Then when black comes out, white can play a Keima and push these two stones into the Shimari, because here for black, it's not very comfortable to take a one space jump for a base. He would like to extend further, but if he plays the Tsuke, white will defend solidly, and now black is still on the run. So when black plays a move like this, white can still put pressure on the group, and it feels very crowded for black to make twice on the left side. Playing like this, white is attacking in a loose way to get outside thickness, and black can leave under more comfortable. And something like that happened. Black doesn't really have to play Atari, he could just Hane. And now when white plays here, black can extend again or go for the vital point. And if white plays Nobi, black will never play Atari from the inside, and maybe later in the game use Atari from the outside, because this forces white into a bad shape. So playing the Hane, it's the right tactic here. And if white cuts, for example, white needs to come back and protect against the double Atari, either Nobi or connect solid. But if white captures the stone, then black is happy with the double Atari and break into the middle. So the Hane would be a much better tactic for black instead of Atari. Atari is just crude and primitive. So Atari go out, and instead of pushing, black can just make I shape right away. But okay, this exchange is to expand the space, and actually this creates Amaji for the Atari on the outside. Black took the vital point, which is I shape for him right away, and white Atari. In fact here, white can still attack the base on the left side by playing c13, then pull back. Because when black goes b12, white can Atari from the outside. So those two moves are interchangeable. So this would be a bit more active to keep the pressure on the group. So when black plays something like this and white Atari, even if black goes for life with this vital point, white can still take the ko and try to kill the group. So it's not so easy to leave. Once white plays Atari here, black can just extend, give up the ko, and now black it's a bit better with the I shape. So when something like this happens and the group is surrounded, black will just leave on the spot and doesn't rely on the ko anymore. So white plays a loose move to capture this, so it's not the classic net like this one, for example, where black Atari and nothing happens. I mean, the two stones will not escape. Another way for white to capture its Atari here. And this way, if black comes out, white doesn't have to rely on the ladder because white can Atari and then set up on net. So this way, black again is captured. And it leaves less Aji. Playing this move, later in the game, black can use Atari and Kosumi to try to escape. And well, even if it does that, white can still capture some stones to stay alive. So let's say this happens and then white plays here, black is not going to connect but Atari from the outside, then we have this Atari and white is still safe, but the position is a bit different in the middle, so black also gains from sacrificing the stones like that. Therefore, the most proper way here is either Atari like this or just direct net. Anyway, black doesn't want to go out right away, so he fixes the left side. That's a very proper move. Now this move is really questionable. Usually this kind of tsuke or the other tsuke happens when the O-game is one line lower. So if black has the stone instead of Q16 but Q17 and instead of R14, R13 it's at R14. So when this Shimari it's on the board, not the star point and the other Ogema, these are the situations where white can use that kind of contact play. In this particular position, when the Shimari it's a little bit higher, white should just approach O17, and when black encloses a corner, simply extend for a base in the top. And another option is to go San right away. So R17 to see whether black will block this way or the right side. Now this can happen and we have the classic double Hane Joseki, where black already has the extension at R13, so he's happy to develop on the right side, but white got the Ponuki in the top and now white is center. So white can play on the bottom, then maybe expand the top more. And if black blocks the other way, white will push and simply leave in the corner unconditionally. Then black, sometimes he will add another move to keep everything connected and safe. But in this case, black can also extend to the top because when white comes out, black can also extend on the right side. Sorry, first the key point here to prevent the key move, the vital point that threatens the snapback. And when white plays a one space jump, black extends. So it's not that urgent to capture that stone in the wall immediately. But anyway, so white should consider outside approach or R17 Sansan invasion. Because with this move, black is just going to have a bigger corner, much more solid. And this is a thick shape for black, so now black can just take away the extension. So what white gets here is just a wall that it doesn't function. And it's giving a lot of territory in the top right that could be taken away by the Sansan invasion. So that was like a confusion because let's go back a few moves. So let's go from the beginning. Instead of this move, if black has a stone here, then attack here, slide, Shimari, and now R14. Yeah, this is the kind of situation where white can use Q16 and Hane, then this, cut once, jump, then push several times and extend in the top. So this Joseki shouldn't be confused. The position has to be lower, not with the star point and O game. Two different stories. So back to the original game. Black Hane in the corner, that's strange, that's just endgame. Black should take away the extension. Because anyway the corner is strong enough and black doesn't need this move. He's probably afraid of the cut at R16, but if black takes away the extension and white cuts, black will just Atari, then go down at S17 and the white stones are captured faster. White only has 3 liberties. If black plays here, block, connect, and the stones are still captured faster. Black doesn't even need to play inside. He can make a base like this or attack the wall taking away the extension. If white tries some Tesuji here, for example this kind of combination, black will block and then there is no way to approach. It's gonna be a self Atari. So maybe black played this Hane just to protect against the cut, but this actually gives white a pretty thick shape on the outside. And now it's a bit tougher to invade, but he still does it. This k17, it's a bit questionable. It's the kind of move you don't want to play to make your opponent stronger. He has a weak stone, so in order to attack this stone, you want to play a cap move or prepare a little bit. For example, push along here. If black answers, the wall gets stronger, and then cap. Now when black extends towards the wall, you take away the base from the other side, like this or like this, and go down. If black attacks or extends the other way, then you can approach either here or something like this to remove the base. And usually when black blocks, you go up or you go down. But it's okay to consider the cap right away, or just leave it. That stone is weak even if white Tenuki. So when white plays here, black will block, and now white should go up or descend. In this case, it's good to go up because black needs to Nobi and now cap and attack the whole thing. Playing the cap right away leaves black pretty loose. Black can Hane under, push one more time, then consider a peep, and then come out. And now all of a sudden, Hunter is hunted because white doesn't really have two eyes for the top group, so it's difficult to contain the group and also kill it when the white group is in danger. Now white comes back. If we go back a few moves, let's say white plays this move right away, then black double up, J17, then we have the cap, then black comes in between. White doesn't feel like playing K17, but surround the whole thing and try to kill everything. So that would be a Tevari. Change the order of moves to see which move it's not optimal. But anyway, push here is more interesting because if black plays away, white is happy to Hane the head 2 stones and then try to catch everything. So black comes out, simply Nobi. White can jump or play a Hane, but on the Hane, black might cut. And here, in order to come out, black has to push this way. So black is kind of forced to connect to the right side, but even if black comes in this direction, there are actually no points for black. So he's just escaping, and white builds a nice potential framework in the center. So here, one space jump. Black should actually just Nobi. White connects against the cuts, and then protect with Keima on the right side. Here we have a wedge. This Atari is good. Now, when black plays Atari from behind, white should a Nobi. It's better to take right away. The reason is, if you take right away, the position is strong, and black is supposed to play a Nobi here. Otherwise, for white it's very nice to Hane in center, because next Atari will come, and this is very painful for black to accept. So when Hane, black will Nobi. And this is also something that black doesn't want to happen to protect all these center moves. Therefore, when white captures, black will extend. So black will prevent this Hane, which is super powerful. And in this case, white will end in center, so white can extend on the right side, for example, or block the corner and then extend. It's a big difference in taking center in the middle instead of Gote, because after this move, black pushed, white goes Nobi again, and this way white is Gote. Compared to this, and now white is not going to play another move to take Gote, but play away. So here white lost tempo, but black didn't profit enough. Well, here black can play all the way to R8, and then a one space jump like this. White will probably feel a little bit under pressure, so add another move, then black can defend the bottom too. If black goes directly in the corner, white extends on the right side, and this move ruins a lot of the potential black had in the center. That's why it's good for black to go all the way on the side, so this way black can build something on the right. R9, it's a bit far away from R6, so white is not so stressed here. This push is to enclose the center, but in fact black should jump here to put pressure on these guys. Now white may come out or just play a Keima, then push once, and now black can extend the bottom. So this one, white answers, that's not too bad. And white is center, very good for white to get this M3. Black should really play something here. It's not a problem if white goes O14, black can still block, and if white plays here, black can block this way. It's also interesting to play this kind of move and cut, but this can be a little bit more dangerous. In fact, not so much. Yeah, it seems black can fight. So this move, it's a bit slow. White took center. It seems black gave back the favor from the middle, where white took gote instead of center. Now black played O14 and he took gote for a small area instead of defending the bottom. This is very proper to play L3 and important. So now jump, make a base. White is playing too proper here and a bit slow. Gote again. White can play a peep first and then Keima at S8. If black covers, white can push and block. And this way, the group is already alive, even if later black will push at R2, and it creates a cutting point at R10. Black might hane and then play another move. Otherwise, it's a bit dangerous when white cuts. Now it's okay. If white cuts, black can extend. If white goes up, bamboo. But white doesn't need to play in the corner anymore. I mean, right now, if this happens, white can play any other move. This. And we will get to this corner too. And if black pushes in the corner, white can play here, on the turn defend. The corner is already alive. It's not like white plays away, black will push, white blocks, and then black will scoop out the base like this. Because that's the whole point of playing S8, to prevent this kind of maneuver. So once we have a peep that reinforces the group already, and then this kind of Keima, if black answers and no again, there is no more combination in the corner to be able to connect under. Now black will be trapped inside. So this is a way to defend in center indirectly instead of just block at R2 in gote. But it seems it was center anyway. P2 is very small, it's just endgame. Black should play, for example, H2 to put some pressure on these two stones. And now white has to come out and get into the middle to ruin this potential. So if this happens, black has a slightly better position overall on the right. Going back P2 still doesn't stress the corner, so white can play away. Very good for white to play this combination and San. But now, white played the push instead of dropping down. In this case, when white already has a stone at B7, it's much better to play B3 because white is connected. When black pushes here, white can just connect and there is no way to be cut at B6. So here, if black plays the hane, white turns and now black has to look for I shape. Therefore, he will play H2, then push and bump, then make some I shape like this. White will surround the group and then black will play another move to leave. The group is alive, but it only leaves with 5-6 points instead of 10 or 12. So when white plays this move, black can cut the stone. And it's actually better to go down because white will just lose the stones without any compensation. In this case, the Tesuji is to play Atari and then connect under. So now black again will seek for I shape on the side. Because when white plays B1 and A3, this will force the I. Therefore, black has to look for I shape in the open spaces. Like this, black just captures the two stones and white didn't gain much. Okay, this was center, but it shouldn't be. Yeah, black can play other moves. Black is already alive in the corner, and the right shape it's actually this one space jump to give you shape, eyes in the middle. White has a little Tesuji here, this and Atari, then push, but black is already alive. That's an empty, ugly triangle. So white got some profit in the center while stressing this black group. It's okay to block here. If black goes Atari, white connects. When black cuts, nothing happens. Those two stones are captured in a net already. So playing like this, white accepts to be less points because black will push here and push like this later on. So it's okay to block like this and build 1, 2, 3, 4 extra points just like that. When you play a gote move, usually you gotta take the gote that maximizes the profit. Now here white makes a mistake. On this move, it's obvious that black wants to come inside or use the cut. And the way white protects against the cut should be K7. Because this kind of diagonal and shoulder hit blocks black's entrance into the middle. Now, if black pushes here, white blocks. If black turns, white blocks again. So the border is complete. Now, when black cuts like this, it's easy to read. You just cut and capture in a ladder. Nothing happens. Actually, you don't even need to play here. You can play on the outside, because those stones are trapped inside anyway. On this Atari, just kill more. They are all dead inside. So, playing this move, it leaves the agi of k8. So, black pokes in. Now, white can actually play this move. One space jump. If black pushes again, you block. If black pushes again, just capture. And now black has to come back and connect his stones. Then you just dive in. Oh, there's a lot of agi here. Throw in. Oops. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Ah. This throw in, maybe it's not necessary. Yeah. So, back to the original game. Push. And push again. And Hane to trade. But it shouldn't happen. Just defend the center. Keep the 3 stones connected and enclose the middle. If black goes here, continue with normal endgame moves on the side. Well, white captures 1 stone, but giving up those 3 in the middle, it's quite expensive. At least white took center. Ah, what happened on the right side is quite interesting. So cross cut, that's good. And now squeeze. Nice idea. Puck, puck, puck. But what if black plays Atari here, then connects, then simply pulls back? Now white didn't gain much. Actually, this is a minus to play q9 and lose it like that. But black went down, so white did very well. This move, then push. And now it's wrong to play Atari from the outside. Should always go for the squeeze. S7, then Atari again. And when black connects, you don't care about the stone at S6. It's more interesting to connect the one in the middle. Because if black captures this guy, it's not a problem. White will erase more in the center. So remember the squeeze play or Shibori technique, this S7. Atari, of course, black is not going to capture and allow the Atari. Black will go down instead, like it happened in the game. So playing the Atari at S7, this forces black take, and on this Atari, black connects. This is a one-way variation. Turn is good. Oh, chance. Here, white can play a peep. Black needs to connect, or black connects in the middle, white captures the tail. And if black connects here, white can push through and separate. Because if black captures 1 stone, it doesn't matter. This is a false eye anyway. And white can just play here. And in the end, the group is dead. Even if black plays all these moves, yeah, it's difficult to make eyes. That's not even 1 eye. So black is trapped inside. White wins big. In fact, it works to play right away. Push and cut. Now when black captures, you play the peep. If black connects, take away the eyes on the bottom and it's game over. Of course, black will try some moves here, but white has plenty of liberties, a lot of eye space in the corner. Even if it's just 1 eye, when black goes here, for example, this is a very big 1 eye. So plenty of liberties for white in the corner, and white can make some more like this. Yeah, it's going to be an easy semi-eye. Because black has to reduce the liberties from the inside, which are common, and also play a bunch of stones in the corner, 5 plus 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. So that's an cut deformation. Okay, so white had a chance to peep or to cut everything. Ah, that's a strange capture. First of all, white didn't Atari, and black can play T6, connect, and now white needs to protect this. This means black doesn't have to play inside S8. So black defended in advance. I mean, if black plays away and then white Atari, it makes sense to capture, but to capture right now, it's a bit strange. And white should still kill everything. Especially now that the right side is safer. That Kosumi was good, B15 it's Sente, but instead of jump at G17, just crush the bottom group. So now we have some normal endgame. Okay, black connects. Too bad. So let's see what happens if white pushes and cuts and black plays here. White can just block. Now if black plays this move, white Hane, so that's only 1 eye. And when black plays Atari here, this is also kinda pass, I mean, or a gote, because yeah, let's say we play away. When black goes here, white falls di like this. When black protects somehow like this, white can push first, push again, then double up, and it's done. No way to make twice. So white missed an opportunity to kill big. Now, when you play the Hane, black can Atari, and after white connects, black will capture the 2 stones. If white hits ambitious and plays Atari, black captures, and black has more time now, so on the Atari, black will take more stones. Therefore, the Tesuji is to play a2, because now black will go d2 and the Atari is sente. And if black is ambitious to go a3, white has a co-fight. Atari b1, black captures, white connects, Atari and take back the ko. Now, if white wins the ko, it's quite expensive for black. So black allows this Atari, and actually it's good for black to capture right away. Because next, when black protects at f2, he might build more. And if white plays here, black doesn't need to do anything. Later on, anyway, black will capture this d2, after all the neutral points are filled. Ah, that's a little minus. Simply push and leave it like that. So that's pretty much it this game, I guess. No other surprise moves. Well, here white can capture and fight the ko a little bit. If black no b, white just connects. So black needs a ko threat, something like this. Then take back the ko. If white doesn't have ko threats, then Atari from the outside and protect. Which happened here, but in general, it's good to take the ko one time. Okay. This push. Defend is good. Connect. That doesn't do much. That's fine. Was this necessary? Ah, yeah, I think it was. Okay, center moves. So here, white can protect at s3. This gives I shape, and when black plays Hane on the right side, white blocks, black connects, and white doesn't have to play another move inside. Because when black Atari, white just extends. If Atari connect. So those 2 stones have no future inside. But this works too. And white doesn't need s4. Let's say white makes the eye on the outside, black plays Atari, white comes out, Atari come out, Atari connect. There are 2 more liberties. There's nothing to do. If black pushes here, white can just play away. When black pushes again, just catch the 3 stones. So this move, it's -1 point, and it shows that white, it's either too conservative and he wants to make sure he will not mess up at the end, or simply didn't read what happened when Atari, and so on. You gotta read all the time and then decide whether you need another move or not. Not just to defend by reflex. Here black should Atari first and then connect. Therefore, white should play here. If black pushes again, Atari connect. And this is sente. Because now, white had to come back in goten. But there were no other moves to shock black or white at this stage. So it's quite obvious. And white wins by 9.5. Well done.